So, imagine it's 2 a.m., right? You're standing in a really quiet, dimly lit hospital hallway.
Yeah, that's a tough place to be.
It really is. And, you've just lost a loved one and you have absolutely no idea what to do next. You don't like call a friend to ask for recommendations at that hour.
No, of course not. You don't want to wake anyone up.
Right. You just open your phone, you stare at the screen, and you type 4 words. You just type funeral home near me.
It's just a profound moment of vulnerability, honestly, because that searcher, they aren't window shopping,
No, definitely not.
right? They aren't reading casual reviews to figure out where to get, like, a decent pizza on a Friday night. They are in a state of shock.
Exactly.
They're navigating this highly stressful, incredibly time-sensitive situation. And, they're looking for immediate trust.
Well, today, for you listening, we are looking at the digital battlefield behind those 4 exact words. So welcome to another deep dive.
Glad to be here. This is a big one.
It is. We are exploring a really comprehensive 2026 guide from Independent Funeral Marketing, or IFM for short, and it's titled How to Rank Your Funeral Home on Google in 2026.
Which is such a vital topic because of those stakes we just mentioned.
Right, and there are roughly 246,000 searches per month globally for funeral home near me.
Wow. Yeah, that's massive.
It's huge. So our mission today is to unpack how independent businesses, specifically, family-owned funeral homes, can use local search and AI to actually outrank massive, heavily funded corporate chains.
Which sounds impossible, right? But the mechanics of how that happens, it actually starts before the user even clicks a link.
Wait, what do you mean before they click a link?
Well, when someone types near me, the search engine doesn't just hand them a list of websites anymore. It hands them the map pack.
Ah, right, the map pack.
Yeah, it's that block of usually 3 local business listings that appears right at the very top of the results page.
With a little map and the pins?
Yeah. Exactly. It's got the map, the star ratings, a quick phone number, and on a mobile phone screen, especially at 2 a.m., that map pack takes up almost the entire visual real estate.
So basically, whoever controls those 3 slots just controls the local market.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And the algorithm decides who gets those slots based on 3 core criteria. So you've got relevance, distance, and prominence.
Okay, let's break those down. Relevance is that just matching the search words?
Essentially, yeah. It means your profile directly matches the search intent. Distance is just physical geography, like how close the searcher's phone is to your actual front door.
Okay, makes sense. And prominence.
Prominence is how much the algorithm actually trusts you. And the foundation for signaling all 3 of those things is having a flawlessly optimized Google Business Profile, or GBP.
But, the IFM guide is very specific that optimization here doesn't mean what a lot of people think it means, right?
No, not at all.
It's not about stuffing a bunch of descriptive keywords into your profile name just to, cast a wide net.
Oh, no. Keyword stuffing is actually the worst thing you can do. It completely destroys algorithm confidence.
Really? I thought that was like SEO 101 back in the day.
Back in the day, maybe. But if a business's legal registered name is, say, Smith & Sons Funeral Directors, but they name their Google Business Profile, Smith & Sons Funeral Home and Cremation Best Local Services.
Just shoving every word in there.
Right, just packing it in. The algorithm sees a mismatch between public business records and the digital profile, and it immediately drops their trust score.
Oh, wow. So it actively penalizes you for trying too hard?
Exactly. And the categories demand that same exactness. A business has to set funeral home as their primary category and just leave it at that.
Instead of adding like 20 unrelated subcategories hoping to catch stray traffic.
Exactly. Just be exactly what you are.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate for a second. Let's look at the reality of the business world right now.
Okay, go for it.
You have these massive corporate funeral groups. They have literally $1-million marketing budgets.
Oh, yeah. Huge resources.
They have entire teams of SEO specialists working in shiny office buildings somewhere. How does a single independent funeral director in a mid-sized town stand a chance against that kind of machine in the map pack?
It's a great question. But the thing is, the local algorithm is entirely different from the broader internet search algorithm.
How so?
Well, on the broader internet, corporate chains absolutely win because they have high domain authority, meaning their overarching national website has like thousands of links pointing to it.
Right, which gives it a massive overall trust score.
Yes, exactly. But the map pack is hyperlocal. It does not care about national clout. It only cares about what is happening on the ground in that specific postcode.
Wait, really? So a national corporation's local branch is actually at a disadvantage?
Often, yes. Because think about how they operate. A corporate branch's Google business profile is usually managed remotely, right?
Right.
By an agency or a corporate employee 3 states away.
Ah, I see where this is going.
Right, so that leads to generic profile updates, really slow response times to reviews, and just zero actual community engagement.
Whereas an independent business is, well, independent. They're right there.
Exactly. They are active locally. They're uploading photos of their actual arrangement rooms, posting local community updates, and responding to reviews personally.
And the algorithm can see that difference.
It can. The algorithm monitors that hyperlocal activity and weighs it much heavier for the map pack than a corporation's national domain score.
Wow. That levels the playing field in a really fascinating way.
It really does. It gives locals a fighting chance.
But, creating a Google business profile is just filling out a form online. I mean, anyone can do it. Google still needs undeniable proof that the business actually exists in the physical world.
Right, that it's not just a digital ghost or a scam.
Exactly. And the IFM guide points to something called NAP consistency to prove this. NAP. Name, address, phone number.
Yeah, NAP is crucial.
Yeah.
Search engine crawlers operate a lot like detectives running a digital background check.
Okay, a background check. I like that analogy.
Yeah, they constantly scour the internet, cross-referencing data to verify a business's legitimacy.
Mm.
So they look at Apple Maps, Bing Places, Yelp, and local directories.
Like Thomson Local or Yell in the UK.
Right, exactly. And if they find the exact same name, address, and phone number across all of those platforms, their confidence in the entity goes way up.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more. Because just like a real background check, the smallest discrepancy raises a massive red flag, doesn't it?
A huge red flag.
Like if the business profile says High Street spelled out entirely, but a directory from 4 years ago says High St. abbreviated.
Yes, or worse, lists a phone number that was disconnected during a remodel years ago.
Right. Google's system registers a conflict. It doesn't have the human intuition to say, oh, well, they probably just changed their phone system.
No, it's ruthless.
Yeah.
It just sees two conflicting aliases and instantly denies the ranking to protect the user from a potentially bad experience.
It's so literal.
The algorithm is ruthlessly literal, yeah. And fixing those errors is only half the battle.
What's the other half?
An independent director also has to actively build a citation network to prove their specific industry authority.
Okay, so what does that look like in practice?
It means securing listings in highly relevant industry-specific hubs. So for a UK funeral home, that would be funeralguide.co.uk, or member directories for trade associations.
Like the NFD or SAIF.
Exactly. When the algorithm sees a business listed on those tightly moderated industry sites, it passes a massive amount of topical trust to the business's local profile.
I see. So we're talking a lot about passing trust to machines. But part of this background check relies on human trust, too, online reviews.
Oh, absolutely. Reviews are huge.
And the guide states that an independent funeral home should aim for a review velocity of like 30 to 50 reviews at 4.7 stars or higher.
That's the benchmark, yeah.
I'll be completely honest with you. If a funeral home asked me for a Google review days after my parent died, I'd be furious.
I completely understand that.
It just feels incredibly transactional. Like, how is this not completely tone deaf?
It is arguably the most delicate interaction in the entire business world. And honestly, most independent directors actually avoid asking for reviews entirely because they feel exactly the way you do.
Right. They don't want to intrude on the grief.
Exactly. But ignoring reviews means sacrificing visibility. And studies consistently show that consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations.
Even for something this sensitive.
Especially for this. For a grieving family searching at 2 a.m., seeing dozens of thoughtful, 5-star reviews from other families in their town provides an immense psychological anchor.
Ah, I get it. They need to see that others have trusted this business in their darkest moment and, actually been cared for.
Right. It's about proof of care.
So the reviews are crucial for the next family's peace of mind. But how does a director ethically make the ask to the current family without sounding like a sleazy salesman?
The mechanics of the ask require profound empathy and, well, precise timing. Sending an automated boilerplate email an hour after a service concludes is callous. You can't do that.
Yeah, that would be awful. So what is the standard practice outlined in the guide?
It involves waiting several days or even a couple of weeks until the family has had some space to breathe.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And the request is usually a deeply personal handwritten note or a direct message checking in on them.
Oh, so it's not a generic blast.
No, it gently mentions that sharing their experience could help other local families who are suddenly facing the same overwhelming situation.
That's a huge shift in perspective. It frames the review as an act of community support, not a business transaction.
Exactly. And crucially, the business must respond to every single review. A thoughtful, personal reply to a family's feedback does more to cement a business's credibility than the star rating itself.
That's a really good point. So, okay, we've established how to build trust with traditional search algorithms and human beings navigating the map pack.
Right.
But the way people search is fundamentally changing now. Like, families aren't just typing queries into traditional Google anymore.
No, they're not. They are opening Perplexity, ChatGPT, or using Google's new AI overviews.
And the AI doesn't just hand you a list of links. It reads the internet, synthesizes the information, and gives you a direct answer.
Which means, for the first time in history, businesses are no longer just writing to persuade humans. They are writing to program machines.
That sounds intense. The guide calls this a shift to entity-first content, right?
Yes, because an AI system doesn't understand flowing emotional prose. It retrieves and maps named entities.
Entities. Like what?
They're essentially nodes of factual data in a massive knowledge graph.
Okay, so it's like shifting from being a storyteller to being a database architect.
That is a perfect way to put it.
Because if a funeral home website says, for generations, our family has served this beautiful valley with caring hands and open hearts.
A human feels comforted by that.
Right. But an AI parses that sentence and finds absolutely zero usable data.
The AI considers that sentence invisible. It just skips right over it.
Wow. So how do you fix that?
To get cited by an AI assistant, the content has to use what the guide calls direct answer paragraphs.
Direct answer paragraphs, okay.
Every single section of the website needs to open with a stark, factually complete sentence. Something like, Smith & Sons is an independent funeral home providing cremation services in Manchester.
So no burying the lead. You put the absolute bare-bones fact right up front so the machine can grab it.
Exactly.
And then you follow it up with the empathetic human language for the actual person who ends up reading the page.
You've got it. Furthermore, AI tools are fundamentally designed to match user questions with definitive answers.
Okay, which means what for the website?
This makes structured FAQs, frequently asked questions, one of the most powerful tools for visibility.
Really? Just a simple FAQ page?
Yeah, but it has to be structured right. If a website has an FAQ that directly asks, what are the costs of a cremation in Manchester,
Yep.
and immediately follows it with a clear, factual answer.
That page becomes a magnet for AI platforms pulling data for local users.
Exactly. It feeds the AI exactly what it's looking for.
Now, to make it even easier for the bots, the guide introduces a highly technical concept called local business schema,
Yes.
and specifically a piece of code called JSON LD. Honestly, for a local business owner, this sounds incredibly intimidating. Like, I wouldn't know where to start.
It sounds like computer science, I know, but the mechanism is actually straightforward.
Okay, explain it to me like I'm 5.
Imagine handing an AI bot a 500-page novel and asking it to read the whole thing just to guess the main character's eye color.
That sounds exhausting.
That is what a normal website forces a search engine to do every single day.
Okay.
Schema markup is like handing the bot a single index card that simply says eye color, blue.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right. It is a piece of code hidden in the background of the website that speaks to the search engine in its native language.
So it's not visible to the human reader at all.
Nope. For this industry, the code would explicitly state additional type, funeral home.
Which removes the need for the algorithm to guess what the business is.
Exactly. It hands over the exact coordinates, operating hours, and services on a silver platter.
Okay, let's connect this idea of perfectly structured data back to physical geography. Because here is a logistical nightmare for a local business.
Okay, what's the nightmare?
What if they serve 3 different neighboring towns? Like if an independent director is based in town A but regularly serves families in town B and town C, they want to show up in local searches for all 3.
Naturally, yeah.
The temptation is to build a great schema-optimized web page for town A, duplicate it, use find and replace to swap out the town name for town B, and just hit publish.
And that is what we call the duplicated template trap. It absolutely destroys local rankings.
But why? I mean, it seems perfectly logical to just swap the town name if the services provided are exactly the same.
Because Google servers have finite resources. They operate on something called a crawl budget.
A crawl budget. Okay.
Every time they scan a web page, It costs them computing power. If a business forces Google's bots to crawl 3 identical pages where literally only one word has changed.
The search engine gets annoyed.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It views that as wasting its resources while offering 0 unique value to the user.
Oh, wow. So to protect its index from being flooded with spam, the algorithm penalizes the site.
Exactly. It suppresses the rankings for all the duplicated pages.
So trying to cheat your way into the neighboring town actually tanks your visibility in your hometown.
It does. It backfires completely.
So what's the solution?
If an independent business wants to expand its digital footprint into neighboring areas, it must build a uniquely dedicated landing page for each specific town.
Which means writing completely new text from scratch.
New text and specific technical elements. Each page needs a unique main headline, what web developers call an H1 tag.
Okay, the H1 tag.
That H1 tag acts like the title of a book chapter. It explicitly tells the bot, this page is strictly about funeral services in Town B.
And I'm assuming you need a map on there too.
Yes. The page should have an embedded interactive Google map of that specific town.
Right.
And most importantly, the content must contain genuine local context. The text should mention the specific local hospital they coordinate with or the specific crematorium in that area.
It has to prove to the algorithm that the page offers distinct, localized value.
Exactly. You can't fake it.
Well, we've spent a lot of time mapping out the digital infrastructure today. Crawl budgets, JSON LD index cards, algorithmic trust scores, entity data.
It's a lot of technical stuff.
It is, but there is a line in the IFM guide that stops all of this technical talk right in its tracks.
Oh, which line?
It says, rankings without Pauls is wasted traffic.
Ah, yes. That is the golden rule.
Because at the end of the day, an algorithm doesn't make a phone call and a bot doesn't grieve.
Right. All the technical visibility in the world evaporates if the user's human experience on the website is poor.
We have to go back to that person standing in the hospital hallway at 2 a.m.
Exactly. If they click a link and the website takes more than 3 seconds to load, their patience is just gone.
They hit the back button immediately.
They do. And if they pull up the site on their mobile phone and the phone number isn't instantly visible at the very top of the screen,
If they have to scroll through menus just to figure out how to contact someone.
they will leave. They'll
Yeah.
go straight to the next result in the map pack.
So the digital footprint has to be incredibly human. And the guide points to video marketing as the ultimate tool for this.
It really is.
Honestly, though, video for a funeral home sounds risky. I think a lot of people might assume that's inappropriate or, I don't know, intrusive.
It definitely can be if it's treated like a flashy, upbeat commercial. You don't want that.
Right. No cheesy sales pitches.
Exactly. But when executed with empathy, it provides a massive competitive advantage. I mean, from a technical standpoint, YouTube is the second largest search engine on the planet.
Right.
And video results are heavily integrated into traditional Google searches and AI overviews.
But the real power is psychological, isn't it?
Absolutely. It directly attacks the anxiety of the unknown.
Because most people navigating this have never stepped foot inside a funeral home to make arrangements before.
Never.
They don't know what it smells like, what it looks like, or who is going to be sitting across the desk from them.
Yeah.
The mystery is terrifying.
And a simple, unscripted video just dismantles that terror completely.
So what kind of video are we talking about here?
The guide recommends a basic 2 to 3 minute walking tour of the facility filmed on a smartphone.
Just on a smartphone.
Yeah, keep it authentic, show the chapel, show the quiet arrangement room where the family will sit.
And pair that with like an introduction.
Exactly. Pair it with a 90-second clip of the independent director simply looking into the camera, introducing themselves, and explaining step-by-step what happens when someone calls them in the middle of the night.
That is the ultimate contrast to the massive corporate chains.
It really is.
Because the chains rely on polished, sterile text and like stock photos of actors looking sad.
Right. But the independent director leaning on genuine local authenticity, speaking plainly and compassionately, builds an immense amount of trust before the family even dials the phone. And the best part is, it doesn't require a studio budget.
No.
No, just filming 4 simple videos a year, updating them quarterly, is enough to completely outpace local competitors who are still relying purely on text.
It bridges the gap between the screen and the real world.
Perfectly said.
So dominating local search in such a sensitive industry is really an incredible balancing act.
It is.
On one side, independent directors have to execute with absolute technical precision, perfectly categorizing their Google business profile, ensuring their NIPTA is identical across the internet.
structuring their FAQs to feed AI bots.
Right, and writing unique entity-first landing pages for every single town they serve.
But none of that matters if they don't lean heavily into the human element.
Exactly. Gathering authentic reviews from the community and looking their prospective clients in the eye through simple, honest video tours.
The technical foundation ensures the business is found by the machine. The localized empathy ensures they are chosen by the human.
That synthesis is exactly why independent, community-rooted businesses have a structural advantage over remote corporate chains.
Provided they know how to play the game, of course.
It's a game with incredibly high stakes, and the rules are changing rapidly as artificial intelligence gets more sophisticated.
Which actually leaves us with a final thought to ponder as this technology evolves.
Oh, I like a good final thought. Let's hear it.
Well, right now, AI is acting as an advanced search engine, right?
Yeah.
Summarizing information and pointing users to the right structured data.
Right, it's still just presenting options.
But these systems are rapidly becoming proactive personal assistants.
Okay.
So how long until a grieving family member doesn't even look at a screen?
Wait, what do you mean?
Imagine someone simply telling their voice assistant, I need an independent funeral director near me
Yeah.
within this budget who have a chapel. Will the AI eventually bypass the search results entirely, using all that hidden schema code we talked about to simply curate the choice and facilitate the initial arrangements on behalf of the family?
That is a wild thought.
If the traditional search engine results page disappears, the database architecture we explored today isn't just a marketing strategy. It's literally the only way a business will survive in an AI-curated world.
From the invisible index cards of an algorithm to an AI assistant quietly managing a family's crisis in the background.
It's coming faster than we think.
The mechanics of visibility are shifting, but the underlying human need for trust remains exactly the same.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We've got a lot to think about. We'll catch you next time.